Where are we? Where are we? We're at Benzinga. We're in Anaheim.
California Benzinga Market Spotlight.
Should we talk about verdant strategies? No?
Nah. You know, it's like there's never
Fuck 'em.
like, yeah, exactly.
Fuck 'em.
Fuck my company. Fuck it. No, I'm just kidding.
Break 3,
Love you.
3, 2.
So we're not standing up for an interview today. We're actually sitting down, chilling. This is Rachel Wright here with the Beard Bros Media, Verdant Strategies, and Seth Yakatan. How are you?
I am friggin' awesome. How are you? You know why we're sitting? Because this is about the 11th conference that we've done in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
So last week we were in Missouri. Weren't we somewhere the week before? We were in Chicago the week before.
Yes.
I mean, my kids are calling me Uncle Daddy at this point. I don't know what to do.
Are you like MIA daddy?
No.
Okay.
I have a few flight attendants that I'm on a first name basis with because I fly so often. It's wonderful.
Right.
It's great, yeah.
I mean, my teenagers are the same thing, you know? So I just check in with them when I can. And they're like, Mom, you're alive. And I'm like, yeah, I'm alive.
Amazon Prime is hitting. We're good.
Instacart. My son got on Instacart. So he knows how to do that. And so I see all the Fritos and Doritos and that I know it's my son.
Yeah.
So tell me, I mean, what are you up to? What are you doing these days? Tell us.
Well, I have a fairly decent sized advisory practice where I help people capital markets, M&A, go-to-market strategy, out-of-state expansion, I think optimization. I have a few enterprise clients, one of which is Glass House in California.
Right.
I have done work for a beverage company or two, smaller private MSO based out of the Northeast.
Right.
I interface with a lot of people, and I have a tiny LinkedIn presence. You might have heard a little bit about that. So
Understatement.
yeah, a little bit of a LinkedIn presence. And have been on the show circuit, just like you.
Yeah.
Seeing what's going on in markets, and you know, there's a lot of people that are either, you know, they want to make a move and they don't know how to, or some people want to make a move and they don't have the capital to do it.
Right.
So I try to talk to a lot of people to give them my opinion, and some of them end up working with me. So it's been great.
Yeah,
really great.
definitely. I mean, what would you say the state of the investment market is right now? I see you posting a lot of different things, your reactions.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a ton of action
Soon. Yes.
It really feels like it. You know, you know, at the highest level, you have a lot of debt capital still available.
Yep.
The companies that have money seem to want to deploy it. I've heard for the first time and numerous times in the last 3 weeks about large brands wanting to buy other brands.
Yeah.
Because they're tapped out on how far they can go.
Right.
Or they want to figure out a way to leverage their infrastructure. I think GTI has been making some of the most savvy corporate finance moves in the industry.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Well, very quietly last Monday, they bought a public NASDAQ vehicle. Today, they very quietly moved a Latino Delta 8 focused brand into that vehicle.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be more activity in that vehicle. I think there's going to be more deals like that. When that deal printed, several people said to me, what's next? I think you're going to see some of that happen.
Right.
You still have a lot of catalysts going on. You still have a lot of catalyst states going on. I don't know what's going to happen at the federal level.
Right. Exactly.
Feels like we got a chance.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with just a chance. I mean,
we operate the way we continue to operate the status quo.
Definitely
right? For right now.
Definitely keeping an eye on Pennsylvania.
Yep.
That's going to be a big catalyst. I definitely think a lot of people woke up on Monday with a for sale sign around their neck and didn't know it. And I'm going to think it's going to be at the highest level really interesting to see how that plays out. AYR is a company, as an example, that has a for sale sign on it on the front and back, and they don't know it. And the further they get into the hole, the deeper that thing is gonna get. I was looking really hard today at what Ascend Wellness did, and Frank and that team hit their number. and I think that's a good thing for them. So a lot of action,
Yeah.
a lot of action from where I sit.
Yeah.
A lot of Ease announced that they raised $10 million today.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, you get to know me pretty well. I don't think I have an ego, but when I'm right, damn it.
Yeah.
And I told you nothing was going to happen with Ease. And what happened? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. They went and raised $10 million. And Corey, good for you. And I'm rooting for you. And coffee's on you next time. But I was right. And you're going to see more of that happen. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. What's going on?
I mean, like, not being excited is not the right path to be. I mean, you have to be opportunistic, see what's going on in the markets, take advantage of the opportunities, see the opportunities. Don't look at things at face value. I think these are all really, really important things.
If you're in cannabis,
if
you're in cannabis and you're not excited, I'm going to tell you what you should do. There's a giant industry called the alcohol industry. Go work in that industry.
Yeah.
Because it's easy and it's boring and it's legal and there's no big companies and no one ever did anything wrong.
Right.
And no one's going to kill anybody because they drank alcohol ever, too much of it. Nothing good. And the sales aren't declining and you have great unit economics. And you really have a chance if you start a company that you're going to get bought for $1 billion. So go work in that boring industry and let us have all this fun here.
That's all we're having is fun.
I'm having fun.
Seriously.
I'm having so much fun we had to sit down.
Yes, finally we got to sit down. Yeah, totally. So I mean, anything for like smaller businesses, those just kind of getting off the ground, or those that are not necessarily established as of yet.
I think a lot of it depends on the state that you're operating in.
Yeah.
And we're here today in beautiful California, about a 9-iron from Disneyland, where dreams are made. Dreams are made to be broken in the early stage of a lot of industries, not just cannabis.
Yeah.
I think it's hard. I think it's hard unless you have some type of advantage, whether that's you started in the legacy business,
right,
or someone in your family owns a building, or
real estate.
You got a rich uncle or a rich aunt.
Yes.
Or
I'm not a rich aunt, just so you know.
I'm not a rich uncle either. Or you have some overwhelming demand for a product, or you're first. Getting into this industry is kind of like trying to become a film actor.
Yep.
Right? It's not easy.
It isn't easy. I mean, I think you have to have all your ducks in a row, really have a plan. I've heard a lot of people, they don't even know what type of capital they want, whether it's debt, equity, investment capital. They want to put a Band-Aid on everything with money. And you can't put a Band-Aid on everything with money without a real plan, without a real management team, without real governance, without real strategy. All those things, believe it or not,
that's where you come in, right?
Yeah,
you come in with burden, right?
Exactly. I mean, you don't have to know the whole lay of the land. You have to revisit it often. Is it working? Do we need to tweak it? I see management teams that fall out because they don't know how to do certain things, such as a simple conversation. And governance can tear a company apart if there isn't proper governance. So these are like the basic fundamentals of like business 101, right? And I think people miss the basics,
Well, there's one other thing I'd add in there at the early stage is make money.
Right.
Figure out how to be profitable. There's very few businesses, and you've been involved in a lot of businesses, right? There's very few businesses that I've seen that are profitable that close.
That close, right?
That close.
Yeah.
Crazy how that works.
Yeah.
If the business makes money, one of the things that I do tell a lot of people at the early stage is figure out how to make money. If you're going to sell a cup of tea for $3, figure out how to make 3 cents.
Right.
Because if you're giving away tea,
and knowing your margins is key, right?
Giving something away is called philanthropy.
Right.
Making money is called commerce or business.
Right.
So I think a lot of people who come to me with an early stage project where, we're going to lose money for the first 5 years.
Yeah, but who's going to hang out for that?
Why am I going to do that?
Exactly. There's many other opportunities where you can make money right out the gate, right?
So usually what I tell people is come up with a concept that makes money.
Yep.
And if you can do that, a lot of other things are going to happen easier for you.
Make money first and then scale it. If you can scale it, move it into an assembly line of some type with SOPs. I mean, I think that's super helpful.
Can be.
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah, and then what's your strategy, your marketing strategy throughout the country, throughout the
What are you going to do?
world?
I just try and be helpful, you know? It's all pretty easy for me.
It is. I think people miss the basics. That's what happens.
I think it's kind of like being a therapist. You know, if I was a psychologist and I met 10 people a day that all had problems, I'd be able to diagnose the problem. Did you know that I eat right and I exercise twice a day?
Yeah.
Can you see that from this amazing physique that I have? It's bullshit. So if I told you that I do everything right, I eat right and I exercise twice a day, and I look like this, if you were my doctor or my therapist, you would call bullshit. And for me, it's the same thing with a business. If someone tells me, well, I'm doing all these things, and you look at the numbers don't add up, it's bullshit. I think it's a lot easier in the position that we're in to kind of say, well, you need to do this, this, and this. Because a lot of people that are involved in a business just have a dream.
Yeah.
And they can't see past
it's integrating the dream.
It's
really integrating it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like being in a bad relationship, you know? How many of your friends or relatives have been in a relationship with someone where everybody around that person can say that's not the right person for you to be in a relationship with, but you can't see it because you're deep, you're in the mix, you're in the abyss, you're in the miasma.
Totally.
Sometimes it's like that way with business. So what I like to do is I like to just slap them right across the face. Just give them slap them right back into reality. And sometimes that helps.
Yeah. I mean, I always go in looking for an Achilles heel. That's what I say. Okay, what's your Achilles heel? And I sit and I listen for about an hour. And I say, okay, I already know what your Achilles heel is. So yesterday I was talking to some people and their whole strategy is California, California, California. And I said, okay, I know what your Achilles heel is.
California.
You're not thinking outside of your geographic boundaries. So that's one, right? And if you go in, the other Achilles heel that I've been seeing, like I said, is management. Management, they're all going in different directions. Nobody's rowing the boat in the same direction, right? And so that could be an Achilles heel. So it's like everybody's got an Achilles heel or a blind spot that I think that they are completely unaware of. And if they're willing to like really look at it, you know, and fix it, that might be one way for them to be profitable, you know?
Could be. I mean, look, you have to accept the fact that you need help to be able to get help.
12 steps of starting a business.
Correct.
So with that, I know we have a longer podcast coming up.
We do.
Yeah, so we'll be doing that.
I think it's set for the end of November, and it'll drop in probably December.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. Is it on the Beard Bros Network?
It's on the Beard Bros Network.
It's on the Beard Bros Network. So catch us on Rachel's podcast on the Beard Bros Network.
Yeah.
Coming in early December for your viewing pleasure. We'll get into some really hard-hitting topics.
Yeah.
And we can get deep into several layers of my epidermis.
Yeah. Practical tips, practical takeaways. I think we got to bring it down home because I think that's really key. Keep it down to the basics. I'm
ready for it.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm glad we finally had a few minutes together.
I'm really looking forward to our next deep work sit-down.
Yes, 100%. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Seth. Appreciate it. Hey, how do we find you? I mean, I know where we find you online. Tell everybody else, how do they get in touch with you?
Honestly, just go to my LinkedIn profile. I have a personal branded website. It's called SethYak.com. My corporate website is SethYakatanassociates.com. I'm going to let you in on a clue. I respond to every DM personally. It's not my VA in the Philippines. So DM me. I will respond. It might take me a minute to respond, but I will respond. If I say no, it means no. Don't be offended, okay?
It's tough love.
But just shoot me a DM, and I'm happy to give you a piece of my mind, good, bad, or indifferent. All love, nothing but peace and love. Peace and love.
Yeah. So real quick before we peace out, I absolutely loved this conference right here. And it's a small market spotlight done by Benzinga here in California. I've had so many meaningful connections here. I I've had a blast, honestly, and I don't say that other than in the most sincere way. I've really loved this day. It's been awesome. So I'm grateful to Benzinga for having this. I think the market spotlights are key. We really need to have, because cannabis is so localized, we really need to have these local discussions of the woes that we all face in our local markets. So I just want to say thank you to Benzinga. I think they're amazing, quality all around. How about you? Have you had a fun day?
I've had a good day. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little
Yeah.
tired, but I've had a
Yeah.
very good day.
Yeah.
Look, I think the most interesting thing for me about our industry is that it's very flat. So in these meetings and in these local meetings specifically, I can usually get in front of the key decision maker at 12 to 15 companies.
Yeah.
So today I talked to the CEO of Cannabis and, the CEO of Glass House.
Right.
And the CEO of several other companies.
Yeah.
Mammoth Distribution. And, you can get in front of real decision makers.
Right.
And for me, that's kind of the value add.
That is. Yeah.
And I look at these as opportunity costs lost. So if I come to a meeting like this and I have one great meeting and it turns into something, that's awesome.
Yeah.
If I didn't, then the opportunity cost around that is totally lost.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, they're super valuable, and building your network and your relationship value and credibility is what it's all about, which is why I do so many meetings.
Yeah.
And why I will continue to come to everything to support Benzinga. They've been a great partner to me, and they've been great fans.
Yeah.
And I couldn't, the feeling is mutual.
Yeah.
And the feeling is you've been doing great work.
Thank you.
On the channels that you've been broadcasting on, and look forward to more of your work in the future.
Awesome. When the more authentic Rachel comes out, watch out.
I'm
Anyways,
scared.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, well, there you have it. Rachel Wright here with Verdant Strategies, Seth Yakatan.
Kate and Associates, looking forward to coming to
Yeah.
a TV near you, phone, computer, iPad soon. We'll talk.
Yes.
Bye. Thank you very much. Peace and love.
Peace and love. And 420 CPA and Verdant. Have a great rest of your day, you guys. Take care. Woo! That was awesome.